Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Dream on, dream on, dream on, dream on. Welcome back. Welcome back to Basic Banter and my horrible singing. I'm trying to think of a good song for opening, and it took a minute, and here we are.
And it was
So you
so,
are
yeah, it was so, I would say probably on pitch, but I am so not even traceable on my end of Zoom. I was like, oh, the last few are here.
oh God. Well, yeah,
I'm
the,
sorry.
the last one was really crackly because I really wasn't putting my effort into it, and I should have. I'm sorry, guys, but it was a
Fine.
good song. I was like, it was the only one that I could think of to
Love
explain
it.
our episode. But welcome back. It's nice to see everybody. Nice to be in your car or your home today.
Whatever. Yes, thank you for having us back.
We
I
love it.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a great time with Chris on the last podcast. It was a long one, so thanks team for sticking it out. But it was really good. I really enjoyed sitting down with him, and
So,
next time we have him back, I know Brittany and I will have to, coordinate
yeah.
again. And
Yeah.
it's great. He actually gave me an idea for another like mini series as well to
Oh, all
do.
right.
So like that I've kind of added to our little show notes. But
I love it.
no, I really enjoyed it. It was I was kind of telling Brittany like when I was sitting with him because I really had no like before that meeting I had met him before, right? It was just email. And
Yeah, which is amazing.
it was like it was like getting front row seats or like front row lecture spot for like something, when you really want to hear something and you finally get the chance to like I don't know, I like I said, I just felt like I like
You were listening as part of like an actual lecture in a university.
literally
Like,
I'm like
okay.
and I was taking notes. You could probably see me
That's
in the
awesome.
video like going like this. I'm like, oh my God.
Mhm.
But like I definitely did take some notes on some of those things. Like I thought it was brilliant. Anyways, so thank you
Good.
very much for sticking around and coming back. And yeah, we'll
Yeah.
definitely have him back at some point. That was great. I really enjoyed having him. So good
So
back.
amazing. I love that. Yeah, I love how you found him too. That was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I did discuss a little bit with like regards to our family name with him, and he's like, And I'm like, we're gonna have to, I think I'll have to digest it a little bit with him because I was like, I don't know, I found the name on your website. So like, he was like,
yeah.
and I was like, well, that's gonna lead to another series that I want to do. So
Yes.
it's fine.
I'm pumped. I love it. That's amazing. And then we love our guests. We're so lucky to get connected with all these amazing people all over the
Yeah.
world, and we never know what they're going to talk about until we're on
Yeah,
together.
exactly. It's
So
like
it's pretty great.
so far so good. I don't know, it's been great. But yeah, you're right. All over the world, like, yeah,
Yeah.
been neat. Or at least a little, yeah. I guess we've had a couple over here, but
Yeah. And
um
then there's Brita when
yeah,
she was in
in
Australia,
Australia. Yeah,
lots of in the States.
yeah, lots of the States,
I'm
some
here for it.
here.
I love it all. I think it's a lot of fun because there's so many wonderful beings out there that I'm like, I want to talk to you. I
Mm-hmm.
want to see what's going on. But yes,
Exactly.
so very exciting. Love it. We'll keep on the random guests coming from wherever they are.
Yeah.
And if I get to well, I didn't get to tell Justin over anything yet because her and I are barely talking.
Literally,
Life
like
is
I know, I was like, oh my God, hello, your face. Like,
yes. Hi. But
and
yes,
so
I
much
do.
of this. It's like, oh God.
Yeah. That's when I have another guest in mind. Her and I are just figuring out if her sister wants to be on board. Um, they have some pretty wild ass stories to tell
Ew,
us
love
on the
it.
terms of ghost stories.
Hmm.
So I'm
Neat.
excited. We're going to talk a little bit about that for her and I to see if that we can coordinate it, and then we'll coordinate with Jessica and hopefully have an episode.
Nice.
But it's going
I
to
would
be
love
wild.
that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I love it. So it's good. So
Yeah.
the reason for our opening song today is
Yes.
because we are going to go through lucid dreaming.
I'm
So
really excited.
I am too,
I
because this
yeah.
happens to me so much. This has happened to me a lot in my life, and I don't know if it's happened to you before, Jess.
Like, I could not tell you offhand if it has.
Yeah.
However, I'm sure that like it has. Do you know what I mean? I think like as we go out like through
Yeah.
the episode, I might be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what that was. But yeah,
Totally.
because like
Well,
yeah,
sorry, go
go ahead.
ahead.
I was just gonna say I know that there's a difference between like lucid dreaming and like um not sleepwalking, but do you know what I mean like that kind of dreaming? Do you know what I mean like being like I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Sleepwalking? I
they
don't know.
they say that like a lucid dream is a type of dream where a person that is dreaming realizes that they're dreaming during their dream. If that makes any sense there, that's a
Yeah.
tongue
Yeah.
twister.
Okay. Yeah.
But the capacity to have lucid dreams is a
Yeah.
trainable cognitive skill.
Yeah.
During a lucid dream, the dreamer may gain some amount of volatile. Oh no, that's not sorry, I have trouble saying this word. It's like volitional control over their dream characters, narrative, or environment. And although this control of dream conduct is not a salient feature of lucid dreaming, it's an important distinction that is loose that oh my gosh, words are hard today, guys.
Okay, it's fine. Okay.
It's important that lucid dreaming is a distinct type of a dream compared to other ones
Yeah.
like vivid dreams or like pre-lucid dreams, because those
Yeah.
are there's like all different types.
That's that's kind of what I was like, okay, like yeah, we said already like vivid dreaming or yeah, pre-lucid. So
Yeah.
like the definition of lucid is to like to dream what is it? Clear or
Yeah,
understanding, right?
enhanced dream vividness.
Okay, so what's pre-lucid then? Oh, here you go. I'm looking up as we go. Beginning
Do it.
stages of inducing a lucid dreaming process. Oh, wait. Okay, so it's the beginning at the
Yeah.
stage a dreamer considers the question, am I sleeping or am I dreaming? The dreamer may or may not come to the correct conclusion. Okay,
Well,
interesting.
and like for like a really, really small example, how many of us have had a dream that our partner and I or and them were fighting, or they caught them in a weird situation and they were mad at them in the dream, and then they woke up being mad at their partner, being like, well, I'm
Yeah,
mad at you because you cheated on me in my dream, or whatever the case is.
yeah.
And you can't hold on to that. You can't let go of that anger, but you literally have to tell yourself it was actually just a dream. It didn't happen.
That's so funny. Actually, I don't think that's ever happened to me, but the one time I did dream that like the where emotion followed me out. You might remember this. I think I was like 8 months pregnant with Colin, and we had
Yeah.
been living with mom and dad at that point because our house, we were like moving into a house and da da da.
Yeah.
And in my dream, I was like yelling at mom, and I have no idea why, yelling at her. And
Yeah.
I don't know what I was, why it was, but it wasn't that I was mad when I woke up. I was distraught that I
Yeah.
was yelling at my mom. So awful. And I was like, woke up bawling my eyes out. Like, I don't know what. I was so upset. And mom, again, we shared a house with them. Like, they were like across the hall. And everybody
Yeah.
thought I had gone into labor in the middle of the night. And I was like, no, I'm so mad at you. And I don't know why. I'm so sorry. So the
Mom
reverse.
probably was upset, being like, it's okay if she's bawling too. It's
Thought
okay.
you were going into labor. Like I wasn't. I was yelling at you. I'm sorry for whatever I'm just yelling at you at. But anyways.
Yeah. I don't mean it. But it
Mm-hmm.
is crazy. Like, like when it comes to lucid dreams, there are like, I feel like that's like well, it's like a vivid dream too. It's hard to say when you weren't
Yeah.
in control of that, so the emotions carried over. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
like more lucid dreams, the dreamer is aware that they are dreaming. Their aware actions will not carry over after waking.
Yeah.
Physical laws need not apply in the dream, and the dreamer has a clear memory of the waking world. So it's
Okay.
so interesting to see like how many people have had vivid dreams, the pre-lucid and the lucid ones.
Yeah.
Um, there were times like I had this, I honestly don't know. I don't know what this would be called. I'm going to tell you a story here that I did to Jessica years ago.
Everyone.
I Yeah, you'll know in a second. I was sleeping and
I know which one.
yeah, Jessica
I
already
know. I
knows.
know.
She's like, oh fuck.
I know exactly. I'll go on. Go on. Yeah.
Yeah, so years ago, this isn't even just years ago. I'm notorious for being late. I don't mean to. I just like, holy fuck. Sometimes just time gets away from me and I don't plan accordingly. So Jessica and her husband are very much sticklers on time. If you're not half an hour early, you're late. And
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. That's their thing.
Yeah. That's how we
I've
do.
gotten better over the years. I'm not perfect. Anyways,
Right.
so this we were going to be leaving the city the next day together. I don't know. I think you
It
guys were
was
driving.
Remembrance Day. We were driving to
Yeah.
with
You were
Colin,
driving.
right? We were with Colin.
No, not yet. Colin wasn't born yet. That was pre either of us getting married. It was, I know where I was living. I was living in Blairmore, so
Okay.
it was a long time ago.
Brian, Lauren, I don't even know. Anyways, go on. Go on.
So yeah, so whatever.
Yeah, I
Dreaming,
was that's right. Sorry.
and
I
then
saw I
well,
remembered I lived
dreaming,
on Palate.
dreaming about being late.
Mhm.
And what I didn't realize is I actually woke up. I thought I was dreaming still. In the dream, I call Jessica and say, "I'm so sorry I'm running late. I don't know what happened. I'm getting out of bed right now and I'm headed right there. So don't be mad. It's okay." And Jessica's like, "Okay," in the phone or in the call, whatever. And then I wake up to my phone ringing and I answer it. Jessica's like, and Jessica in real life is saying, "Do not get out of your bed. It's 2 a.m. You're not late. Like, stop." I was like, what? What? So in my dream, LOL, just and also real life, I'm dreaming,
Yeah. About being
calling
late.
her at 1 a.m, telling her that I'm late.
Yeah, so funny. Yeah, it
And
was
about to get out of bed and driving across the
yeah.
city
Well,
to
because
go.
you right? Yeah, you yeah, because I remember like getting the phone call because like again, middle of the night
Yeah, and
and
you guys had just gotten home or something. There was no, otherwise you normally would never have gotten that phone call.
yeah, well, I mean, I you are on my emergency list, so great.
Oh, well, that's nice.
But I do remember I'm like, what? I'm like, is everything okay? And like, I'm on my way, on my way. And then you like hung up. And I was like, what the fuck? This is like, and that's why I like because Ryan had woken up this point. I'm like, Brittany thinks she's on her way here. I'm like, what time is it? Like, Jesus. So then I called you back and I was like, do not come to my house. Go to bed. We'll see you in the
And I
morning.
remember going back to being like, okay, whatever. And then
Yeah.
not realizing it until the next morning what had happened. So to this day, I don't know if that would be considered vivid, pre-lucid, or lucid because like I don't even know who the fuck was in control
Well,
there.
because like again, like
It
lucid,
wasn't
I feel
me.
like that's 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 what I mean. Where it's like the definition. I don't know the definition for sleepwalking, but like when your dream takes can not like leaks into your real life, right?
Well, that's
Um, like when people start to sleep talk and they sleep, I'm just gonna
because
write that.
really in my head I'm would have assumed it's a lucid dream because I was had the ability to control the dream scenario, so I had dream control and dream awareness. However,
Yeah,
no, I did not.
yeah, yeah. Like you had no
I was,
control, girl. I
um,
just like putting
I'm
together
not a sleepwalker,
here.
but I sure shit was doing something. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
yeah. I just looked in here. It's a parasomnia or disruptive sleep related disorder when talking, like when you're one to talk a lot. Obviously,
Mhm.
don't typically talk a lot, but you're right. Like it takes like I guess lucid dreaming is when you could particularly take control of your dreams in
Right.
the dream, right? Whereas this is like your dream in your reality. So I don't know how that would be defined or
Well,
what that would fall under.
yeah, as a sleepwalker, that is defined as a person who walks, eats, or performs other motor acts while asleep and is unaware of doing so upon wakening. Yeah, a
Yeah.
person with a disorder characterized by this, a sleepwalker may be doing something that could cause injury, such as climbing out of a window or walking into objects. But yeah, it's just like what obviously can trigger it or make it worse is obviously
Yeah.
stress, getting enough sleep. And like at that point, I wasn't sleeping. I was stressed all the time because like
Yeah.
life was crazy.
Yeah.
But um, but it is crazy going into the sleep for
Yeah.
walking, talking stuff. My
Yeah.
entire life I sleep talk. I would sleep talk.
Yeah.
I there were times when I was with an ex-partner years and years ago. He was getting into the weed, and so he was up at like 2 or 3 in the morning watching TV, and I was out cold. And in the middle of the night, apparently, I like jumped out of bed and I looked at him with like dead eyes, and I was like, "I'm not done with that yet." And then I went back.
What?
And he like was terrified because he's like,
Yeah.
what
I know. That's so funny. I think I've
Oh,
told you the story about Ryan because I'm sure I've slept talk, but like I don't have any account for it, right? But with
sure.
Ryan, my husband, he has done it on a few different occasions. But the first time, like this was years ago too. This is probably maybe 10 years ago. Um, so we're sleeping. And he like got up and like swung his body, but like positioned it over me to like tell me something. And I'm like in bed.
Scared.
And
Yeah.
he's like, I have an idea. We'll have to talk to your dad. It's gonna cost a bit of money, but I think it's gonna work. And I'm like, okay,
Okay.
something like that. And then there was something about $1 million. Oh, it's gonna cost something. It was something about money. I bet you gotta talk to your dad. Like, what
Oh,
on earth? It's
God.
gonna work. It's like, okay, yes,
That's well,
yes.
you actually, speaking of this now too, you actually had some when you first had Colin.
Oh yeah. Well, that's. But I
And then,
think
and again, those are caused by stress. Would those then be those are still vivid? Those are still why don't you tell our audience here? Because I'm sure they'd like to say
this is our lucid dreaming is just funny dreams. But
it's
like
funny as fuck.
like okay, so like I mean after having babe, I'm gonna demonstrate because I've got a blankie on.
Yeah.
But when I first had Colin, like in those first like few weeks, you're so fucking
Like you're dead.
like you're
You're so
you're dead.
freaked
You're
out.
dead
Yeah.
inside. You're just trying to figure out.
You barely know
I
what the
went through
hell's
the most traumatic thing in my life,
yeah.
digesting that,
Yeah.
acquiring a baby, being
Yeah.
given a new person to know and understand, right?
Figured
And
out
all
into
of that, your sleep and hormones and all things. Anyways, but
yeah.
like one thing that I used to do, and a lot of mothers might do this too. Like we had a bassinet beside the bed. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everything was fine there. We didn't share a bed at that time or anything. And
Yeah.
I like woke up so many times, like thinking I was like nursing him, and like
Okay.
I would like look. I would have crumpled the blankets into my palm like this, and I remember like waking up, and I'm like looking for
For
Colin.
for
And for
those
those
for
of you
those
who
that
are
heard
not looking,
listening,
sorry,
she would crumple the blankets into her arm and pat it as
into
if
my
she was
arm,
wrapped up
and
in
I
a
was,
blanket
and I like just kind of looked at it, and I just like put my hand to be
on the
like,
blanket.
"There's my baby," and I'm like, I smushed the blanket into my arm. I'm like, "Where's my baby?" And I would search the bed frantically, and I'd be like, "Where's Colin? Where's Colin?" And Ryan would be like, "He's in the bassinet," and there'd be Colin like, sleeping away.
Yeah, so happy. Or Jessica the one
I
time. Oh,
know. Oh, I know. I'm getting there. Don't
okay,
worry.
I'm sorry, sorry,
And I
sorry. Okay.
don't remember. I'm sure it was still with Colin as well because I
It
don't believe it was
100% was.
Maria.
You didn't have this with Maria.
No, like again, like it was weird time in my life, but it was a lot. And I don't know how young he was, but it was definitely within his first year of life. I would say,
Within the first 2 months, probably.
yeah, like it was like early on, anyways. And like we had just gotten to our new house, right? So
Yeah.
for those of you who like were part of our life at that point, like you understand the chaos of it, right? It was like
Oh, it was you on your
literally
birthday decided to
on
sell
my
your vehicle,
on
buy
my
a house.
birthday. Yeah, we sold our vehicle, bought a house, like put the offer in that day. Actually, yeah, I think everything was basically done that day. I have no idea, but it
You
was like the
sold
biggest
and
thing.
bought a new car.
And what was it, 28? Was I 28? I think it was 28. I don't know. But it was just like it was a lot that day. And like at that point, I was 8.5 months pregnant. Like I was
Yep.
3 weeks out for my due date, 4 weeks out for my due date. Anyways, so like we acquired the house, yeah, May 31st or May 30th, whatever, May 30th, we got possession. We moved in. A week later, I finished my week of work in this brand new house. I'm like, great, I've got a week to kind of settle in. And the next day my water broke. So it was like, oh, and you have no couch and you have a small kitchen table and you have no bed frame
Yeah,
and
and nothing is
big
unpacked.
boxes. Literally, Colin's room was
The
like
baby's room is
me.
unpacked.
That
That's
was
what.
it. But and little did we know he didn't like because we had a plan. We always had a plan. Anyways,
Yeah.
so I was completely disheveled. Anyways, but of course, a home organization always on my brain.
Yeah.
And I think Ryan like we were sleeping. Colin's on the bassinet, and I'm sleeping away. And Colin or Ryan just like kind of fluffed the covers, funnily, and I was just like, my jars, don't you're gonna break my jars. Like
Thinking that you had all of these jars on the bed
jars, all these jars on the bed. Like, why would I like?
while you're sleeping, all of these mason jars.
I
Because
don't know. Like I
didn't
said,
you feel like, didn't you at one point say that you had filled them up with milk or something? And
I have
that's why you
no
were
idea.
obsessed with the
Not a
jars?
clue. I have no idea.
It was a time, Jess. It was a time. But
I
really, like, is
was
that
really
sleepwalking? Is that lucid dreaming? Is that vivid dreaming? Or is it pre-lucid
well.
dreaming?
That's
It's hard.
exactly. It like again because it's dealing with your reality and not your my inner workings. But now that like I've like kind of felt like the definition of it, I definitely know I can lucid dream, but
Yes.
it's almost like I'm not dreaming. It's like a daydream, don't know if that
Yeah.
makes sense. It's not a
I would
restful state
I
for
would
me.
consider that. Like I do love a good daydream where you do get to kind of control what is happening.
Yeah. Like if I want to go to sleep and think about something, then I can like, control the narrative. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
would say I could lucid dream too. It all depends. It just depends on when I'm sleeping, which is
okay.
super funny. The time I can lucid dream the most is not at night, but it's like in the morning when like the baby's already up and like
Yeah.
Ryan's chilling with him. I get like those 2, 3 hours by myself to actually like deep sleep, knowing that everyone's
Two
okay.
to 3 hours by yourself.
Yeah,
What's it
it's
like?
nice.
Tell me all
Really
about
good.
it.
Real fucking good, Jess. It's so good.
Mhm.
But don't worry, I only get that once every 2 weeks, maybe.
I haven't had it in 2.5 years, Brittany.
When I blink, I
I'm
sleep.
leaving. Do I look do I look okay?
God, I'm kidding. I swear to God, I'm only in my early 30s.
Exactly. I know.
No, and so that's actually when I lucid dream the most, is when
Yeah.
things are taken care of in the house and I can
Yes.
actually sleep. I am like to the deepest sleep that I am in, and I
Yeah.
can lucid dream. And that's when like the craziest shit
That's
happens.
exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, okay. But you know what's funny? This was years ago, many years ago. Do you remember when people could like listen to certain YouTube channels or like
Yeah.
pirate music off of like your computer, and they would actually have certain noise frequencies that could help with lucid dreaming?
Yes. Oh,
There was
tell the
ones that
Lucid. Oh, I don't know.
yeah, there was some that
Huh.
would do lucid dreaming. There was some that would make you feel high, which was crazy. I never did any of these because I was like, I don't trust nothing.
Yeah.
But I knew when people did that, and they're like, yeah, you just like you have your headphones on, you play this, and you would go through a huge trip, or you would go through like a huge lucid dreaming thing. And I'm like, that is
Yeah.
crazy. So when it comes to noise or sound
Yeah.
vibrations and frequencies, something must channel with our brain differently.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like kind of as you said earlier, it's like lucid dreaming, anybody can do it, and you can be trained to do it and do it
Yes.
regularly enough. And now to keep
Yeah.
in mind, it's not like the reason you would do it in the morning is because you're done your REM cycle for the night, right? Like when
That's right.
you're not in your resting, like you're resting your body, but
Mhm.
your brain is still quite at work, right? It's
Yeah.
not in that deep, I think, if I
I
know
think
anything.
so.
I don't
If
know
I
that, but I do understand that in a
Yeah,
deep
I feel like that's the case. But yeah, it's pretty neat. I
yeah.
would be
I'm just
super
gonna fix my
curious.
hair for those who are on the YouTube. I don't give a shit tonight, so
No, it's all good. Yeah, but it's neat because there are
me.
there's
You
seven
see
different
me?
conditions. I love it. There's seven different conditions of clarity that a dream must fulfill in order to be defined as a lucid dream. So there's awareness of the dream state. There's awareness of the capacity to make decisions. There's awareness of memory functions, awareness of self, awareness of the dream environment, awareness of the meaning of the dream, and awareness of concentration and focus, the subject clarity of that state. So like I feel like I was lucid dreaming years ago when I called you. I just also happened to be sleepwalking at the same time. I actually
Yeah.
physically called you.
Yeah, okay. Like I totally like it kind of maps out.
It
Um,
does.
yeah.
Which is cool. It's just so it's crazy. I would love to know if anyone out there has had um lucid dreams or like crazy
Weird.
dreams we kind of just discussed there. I know there was one, can't remember if this is what it was, but I know with like lucid dreaming to train yourself in there, if you saw like a red ball or if you told yourself like if I see this, I'm in a dream, that's my switch that I can take control of that dream.
Okay.
But I feel like that would be through a lot of
Yeah. Alternative to that, I know there was like speculation. I mean, there's always speculation going around about like if you feel like you are like in your dream and you are able to go lucid, to ask somebody what time it is in your dream.
um
Have you heard that?
yes, and that I was just reading as well that if you are the beginning stages of like inducing a lucid dream process, the dreamer should consider the question, am I asleep and dreaming? And the dreamer may or may not come to the correct conclusion, but
Okay.
then you that would be sorry. You could then say like, oh, I'm definitely in a dream because this is definitely not
Yeah.
real.
is like I
I've
think
also heard that you're not supposed to ask people how what time it is.
that's what I mean is I've heard that like you're not supposed to, but I'm like, what does it mean?
I feel like that's something dangerous.
Yeah, that's I don't know, like, but then again, like, how can it be dangerous if it's a dream? I don't know.
Well, and the thing is also, so this is kind of getting into another whole episode we can get into it at a later date. But I remember talking to friends, this is years ago now, that when I would dream, I go to the same place every time I dream now, which is so fucked to me because I don't understand. It's a combination of like Vegas and I'm always looking for a target. It's fucked. Like it's so fucked.
Okay.
It always ends up being in the same place, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? But I think I am going astral projecting
Oh,
because
so
I'm going somewhere. I keep going to a similar area. I can like literally see it in my head right now. But then
okay.
I always end up trying to like go around to try to get to where this target is. Which why is it a target? I don't know. I don't.
Interesting. Interesting, Brittany.
It's very
Hmm.
interesting. But yes, but you never know, like with dreaming, that does allow your body to
Yeah,
astral project.
right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I know that that's like, yeah, you're right. Like that's a whole other episode because I've known
Because
people to
then
do that,
is that
even who
why
are
they
fire.
say, well, that's it. But then is that why they say don't ask if people, or
No.
sorry, don't ask other people if they're what time it is in the dream, because what if you are astral projecting? What if you're talking to someone who isn't a someone and it's a being that's not so positive?
Well, that's what the thing is, I think is I don't know. Like there's tons of TikToks about it. There's tons of YouTube videos about like
Oh,
why and whatever. But because yeah, all of the internet says can disrupt the dream and cause you to lose lucidity. It's like, of course, because that would like wake you up in a sense,
totally.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. I definitely
I
have like places that I not necessarily that I dream about, but you're right. Like it's like, oh, okay, I've been here before, but I don't have like one. I'm not one to remember my dreams all the time. I
oh,
love
I see.
remembering my dreams, but yeah, I don't know the last time I really remembered a dream. I'm just more
I
focused on getting the sleep right now instead of dreams. Do you know
I
what
don't
I
know. I don't
mean?
know why I end up remembering all my dreams. I know that's not super common, but I'm not sure why I do.
I know you can ask your spirit guides to like help with that, and I have in the past, but again, it's just not. It's low on my priority list at this moment.
That's what
Life. Oh, it froze.
a horror movie dream. But it's like a holy
What?
shit, this is a nightmare. I'll
What?
be like, guys, help me. Can you please help me think of something else? And then it's much better.
Yeah. Oh,
But
that's good.
it's interesting too, because in lucid dreaming, when it is a nightmare on for myself, I'll literally be like, okay, I'm changing this up. I'm not running anymore, or whatever the case is. So it is interesting, but it's just as scary because I'm like,
Yeah. Actually, even like running in your dream, like I mean, like most people, like I don't know how they can either run really fast, they can't run or whatever, but like
hmm.
I feel like that's where I like tend to shift my not control necessarily, but you know what I mean? It's like, oh no, like that's like I can run faster than that. Like, why can't I run better? Do you know what I mean? And then I'm like, it becomes more of like that's the switch for me. It's like, okay, I'm definitely dreaming, but I can
See, that's
maybe
cool.
that's my red ball. Do you know what I
That
mean?
might be. That might be.
Yeah.
Huh. That's so
Why am I
funny.
always running in my dreams?
No wonder
Why?
you're exhausted. You're running during the day and you're running at night.
Hmm.
What the F?
What the fuck?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So,
Yeah.
what do you think it's time for a card pull?
Sure. Yeah. If you want to,
Go
that's
through
fine.
anything else for dreams?
Sweet dreams. I'm gonna do a new deck, and you know why? Oh
You
no.
have a new
It's
deck.
not new. I'm just doing one that was close. It was here behind me, and I was like, I'll do this deck. It's my
Ooh.
environmental tarot. Sorry, elemental power tarot.
Environmental terror.
Environmental tarot.
I feel like I said in a previous episode, but again, I could be dreaming this and hallucinating.
No, you've
But I'm
said it.
pretty sure I did say that I was going to choose a different deck for every episode, right?
Yeah, man. So which
Okay,
means
good. I did. I did choose one. I chose my deck. I think this is the first deck I actually had ever purchased. I'm pretty sure. It's the
oh,
messages from the guides one.
yeah, it is. I'm sure that is your first deck.
Because I feel like I use that the most. And I loved it. And one of the reasons why I loved it so much is because the creator of this deck, James Van Prague,
Yeah.
he is actually one of the co-creators of The Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Mm.
So when I
Mhm.
read that after I had the deck for a while, I was like, oh shit, no wonder I like this deck so much.
I can love that. Oh, you know what? Did we talk about it on the last? No, we didn't. Let's just do a little like moment of silence for the loss of Shannon Doherty, who was on
Oh,
Charmed.
I know. And Martin Hull, who was on Sabrina the
And
Teenage
Martin
Witch.
Hall, that's right. Martin Hall who passed away as well. Like, and like, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I loved them both so much. I was like, oh,
yeah,
fuck.
influential people in our craft, whether they believed it or not, or whatever. I know that, but
They were pretty influential, even though.
honestly, and you know what hurts me too is the Shannon and Sarah Michelle, or not Sarah Michelle, yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar. They're best friends, and that would be Buffy. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh my God, like so like our worlds are
All
entwined
very
in
connected.
a
Yeah.
way, fine, anyway, so I'm just like, oh God.
They're
So my
so
heart goes
connected.
out to everybody. 'Cause that is so, but God, it's
Whenever
fucking,
there's a major celebrity pass, it's just like, holy shit, that
yeah,
sucks. And
yeah,
just like it's too hard because there's so many memories that are tied to that actor, actress, or
yeah,
celebrity in one way that you're like, wow, okay, I'm devastated.
yeah.
Why am I devastated?
Exactly. But
Okay.
I do believe that like when people pass, like, and maybe I'm not like this at this point in my life afraid of death and that and dying and whatever, because I think that like if those conversations weren't had in face to face, they can still be had on the other side.
Yeah.
I don't think you need a medium of sorts to bring that connection together. I think it's the intention of having the discussion. So I think if you had any special memories that you wanted to share with celebrity spirits, it's like you share it for your people. Do you know what I mean? I know that sounds kind of crazy and kind of like wishy-washy of me, but I do think that like
Oh, no.
it's all energy. It's like why
Well, and
yeah, feel the loss when you're like, actually I can share it with them now, right?
that's one of the best things about contacting them or asking them for a sign in all different types of ways. And you can continue to ask a sign for any of them for
Yeah.
your whole rest of your life. But so I had a card that just hold on.
Bliss.
Oh, excuse me. There's a card
Bliss.
that flew out of my deck, which was wild as we were just talking about all these things here. But
Yeah.
stay open-minded.
Ooh,
So
good.
your soul is in a constant state of evolution. It evolves in the spirit world as well as in the physical. But it is in the physical destinations like Earth that your soul grows exponentially. The lessons you learn while experiencing the illusion of separateness are so profound, and the paths that unfold you can be surprising. That's why important to that's why it's important to be open to change. New people, new ways of living, new beliefs, new events are always a part of the soul's journey. To remain rigid in your thinking can prevent you from being introduced to new ideas that will enrich your adventure here. Life is all about transition, and when you remain receptive, you can experiment while you're fulfilling your blueprint. As you familiarize yourself with this card, picture a river that begins in the mountains and ends in the sea. This is your life trajectory, but there are many oh, I don't know how to say that word.
Turns and tribulations.
Tributaries
That's fine. Turns
that
and
can take and
tribulations.
there's lots that you can do to still reach your destination. Be open to investigating all the avenues that intrigue you. Some will prove invaluable, and some you may want and you may want to stay a while. Others may not, but to experience them all is what matters. So stay open-minded.
Interesting. And I like the idea of like visualizing as well. Because we
Yeah,
should have talked about like how to lucid dream. I don't know how,
I
but
don't know
like
how.
steps into doing that. That would have been a good thing to do this episode. You know what? We can do it again. It's fine. We'll
Yeah,
just call it a brush this time. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it is like the visualization kind of thing. But yeah.
totally.
So I pulled a card. Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't look at it yet. It's the One of Swords.
Ooh.
This is the King of Swords, I think, actually. Let me just double check. And like, because it's a new deck, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
do my book reading because I'm like,
There's
when I
nothing like that.
there's nothing in here at the moment. Like there's things, but like not.
It's been a time, guys. It has been a time.
I'm still sick. Shocker. It's not maybe sicker than
This
ever.
month it's kicked
Maybe.
my butt in so many different ways, and I still don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Fucking sucks. Fucking sucks. I feel like I've got a like an ear infection slash eye infection or something. Anyways, it is the Ace of Swords. So the pure power of elemental air. Your intellect and communication, both internal and external, gleam with clarity. Now is the time to cut through the dusty, tangled webs to reveal the core of the issue. Allow yourself the quiet and solitude needed to hear and interpret the inner voice yearning to be set free, and stay open to the messages making their way to you from the universe. Once your mind is set, speak fearlessly and trust that your message will be heard as intended. So the challenge comes with this card is the truth can be a hard pill to swallow, but it will set you free. Keep a lookout for any conscious or subconscious attempts to bend any truth that is revealed to you, revealed into what you want it to be. So I think that's great. That's
I
very
would say it's pretty much on the same card too, as like being
big
open to
card. Exactly. Be open. And I
those
guess
cards.
clarity, right? That's
Yeah,
great.
I
Yeah.
love it.
That's,
I
and sorry,
love
that was the deck in Elemental Power Tarot, and that's by Melinda Lee. Lovely.
nice. I
I
love
got it
that.
because I like the elements, the symbols that she uses on her card. I love that. But I have a tattoo done already, and I don't think I can get a whole bunch more of those tattoos, but I could
Why can't you?
because I don't know. I don't know. Should I? I can add
You
to
can
my bits and bobs. My brother-in-law asked me today. He's like, "What are you gonna do next?" I was like, "I don't know. Just gonna keep going." Actually, where's my other one? This one. It's like I have three. I'll just have like
I
little
know we'll have. I know.
bits
I've
and
been thinking as well. I'm just like, ooh, there's a couple more that I'm wanting, so we'll see.
that's okay. Good time.
Another,
Anywho,
but we love it. Amazing. Okay,
yeah.
so, um, when it comes to what Jessica and I had done last month, maybe no, this month, a couple weeks ago, we did a live on Instagram,
Yeah, I
and we did
remember.
a couple of card pulls there. And then we're hoping to do that on TikTok coming up. That was really successful. It was really nice to kind of connect
Yeah.
for a couple people there. Do it again on TikTok, and then we'll kind of switch back and forth. But if you would like to have us pull anonymously for you, you can always go on our Instagram page and submit your question on our questionnaire in our little link tree.
You betcha.
Um, where can everybody find us, Jessica?
You betcha. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Basic Banter for Witches, or you can email us at basicbanterforwitches@gmail.com.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Perfect. Well, thanks, y'all. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us for another little bit. Following up
Yeah.
Saturday or whenever you're listening to this.
Yeah.
And we're excited for next week already. And you just let us know if there's anything that we have covered in the past that you want us to kind of re-go over,
Yeah.
or things that we haven't that you're like, I want to know more, but I don't want to deal with it.
Exactly.
Just
I
you message.
definitely, I definitely have things I want to dive into, but please, guys, like we're kind of like we're just gonna keep on doing what we're doing. And I think that's what we should do. But if you've got anything you want to know more about, we are willing to sit down and do some more research on it. So I think it's time to do some deep dives on some things. So
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Cool.
right
Amazing, guys.
on.
We will talk to you next time. We love you.
Gotcha.
Bye
Love
now. Bye.
you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.